Hello, I'm super excited today. This here is my little Badger, right there. I love this rifle. This is a 22 Magnum version, and I've been using a red dot scope on this. But as a survival rifle, I want iron sights that work. I had 3 of the little Badger 22 mag. I tried 3 of them, and at 25 yards, every one of them shot about 2 inches high. That is no good for a small game rifle, in my opinion. You get out 25, 30 yards trying to shoot a squirrel, just with my old eyes, you don't tend to see so well. So 20, 25 yards, up to 30 yards, it's got to hit on where I put the sights. This here, I believe maybe if you went out 50 yards or so, it might have been on, but I want something that I can actually adjust. I adjusted it as low as I could go, and it still was 2 inches too high. So these sights do not work with this rifle, in my opinion. That's why I used the red dot scope. This is a meat getter. I've already put meat on the table with this rifle, and as a survival rifle, 22 mag is a very nice round. It is light enough that you can carry plenty with you, and it also delivers a punch. So this here is from a previous video. I showed this furniture kit right here, and that is the mods I did. Today what I'm going to do is show you a few mods from BadAce Tactical. I was looking up options for iron sights on this rifle to see if I can get it actually shooting where I want it to. Well, BadAce had a solution, and I'm going to put those on today and share them with you. And it's going to have to be a part 2 for the testing, since it's basically a hurricane outside. So what we have here for this rifle is we have a floating carbon fiber barrel shroud. We have that. We have a 6-inch Picatinny rail with a sight leaf, a peep sight leaf that fastens, screws right onto the Picatinny. I'll show you how to do that. We have a hammer thumb extension for the ease of cocking, as well as an adjustable front sight. They also give you some barrel thread protectors as well. I've got 2 here because I'm not quite sure what the thread was. And they give you some Loctite as well as a little torque wrench as well. So they give you everything you need to do this mod, as well as instructions. Now, I found this kit by watching a video where they show step-by-step instructions on how to put this together. So I'm very excited to start. Excuse me. I'm very excited to start this, and so let's get at her. So first off, I already have this screw protector on there. I'm going to twist that off. Move that out of the way, move this out of the way, and I have to take off this front sight. So there is one little screw in there, Let's see if this here is going to work. Nope. But they provide another one right here with the other front sight. Let's see if that will work on the existing screw. And it will. So, I'm going to take this sight off. Oh, a little bit more. There we go. There's an indent right there, as you can see. And now that's off. Normally, you would have to take off 3 of the 4 Picatinny rails, but I've already done that to add this forearm. So, I'm just going to take this off, and then I should be able to put that shroud right on. There we go. Now this is going to slide right on. So I'm going to make sure that this goes on top. Put that over the barrel. And it slides right on, right like this here. So, we'll get her set up and get in line here. I may have to take off the other rail. Yeah, I might have to take off this other rail. So I've taken off this other Picatinny rail. I'm going to slide this on here. Line it up. There we go. And it's supposed to be a tight fit, but you want to line it up until these holes match the bottom ones. So I'm just going to push in right there. Perfect. Right there. And then I put the 3 bottom screws back in. So I'm only going to put 1 in there right now. But this here just gives you something to grab instead of, you know, holding back here on the receiver or just a thin barrel. It gives you something else to actually grab a hold of. That's pretty sweet. Now what we're going to do is take off this rear sight. So to remove this rear sight, what I have to do is there's a little clip right here. I'm going to see if I can push that clip. There we go. Get that out of the way. There. Now I just screw out this windage. I want to hold this down because there is a little spring in there. Okay, I'm gonna take that out. Sorry for my fingers. There we go. Right there. Now we can take that out. And now I can get at that screw down in here to take this off. Now there's 1 screw right here that I'm going to take out. And then that's going to remove the rear sight. Now these rear sights, I actually tried to cut mine down and I tried everything to make it work. And it just would not work. It was always shooting high. And I'm not going to aim and try to guess where it's going to hit. You know, I want it to hit what I'm actually aiming at. Now they show that you use, just take the little burr off of here, use a drill bit just to make that nice and flush across here. So I'm going to get a drill bit and just kind of ream them out just a hair. And then I'm able to put on that 6-inch Picatinny rail. But before I do that, I can add this little sight leaf. It's got its own screw. You can set windage with it, and then the front sight you can set your elevation. So I'm going to show you these up close, what it looks like. So there's the hole, that's a sight leaf, and that's just going to screw right on right there like that. And then you're going to be able to look down through. That will be your rear sight. So that's pretty small to show you, so that's why I did that up close. Now I'm just going to put this on here and just snug it up because it's going to have to be adjusted later. So I'm not going to put any thread locker on it or anything like that because I'm going to have to adjust the windage. So right now, just going to snug it up. Put it in somewhat in the center and call it good enough for now. So I got a drill bit. I'm just going to set it on the hole and just turn it a couple times. And it's fairly soft metal, really. Holding it this way here, so if there's any filings, it's going to not fall into the threads. But that's all ready. Now we can put the Picatinny rail on, line this up with the holes, use the thread locker, and we'll be good to go. Now I'm really glad that, I'm not reading the instructions, but I'm really glad that I watched the video about a dozen times. So that's why I'm just going this way with it. But now I'm going to use the screws out of here to attach this, and I'm going to use thread locker. Now I just want to snug them up because it is rather soft metal and the screws are soft as well, so you just want to snug them up. There we go. And I'll put that right in the front one right here. Get that started in there. I always find with these little Allen wrenches, this is a torque, but still the same thing, that whenever I try to twist them, they always get knocked out of my hand and such. So I just got that just barely in there right now. I'm not going to snug that up until I get the other ones in, and then I'll snug them all up. Yeah, they talk about just snugging these up because they can strip out. So care has to be taken. The thread locker is going to hold it in there. Okay, that one's good. Get this one. Okay, that's good. This one again. Yeah, I still had a little bit of a turn on that. That one's good. That one's solid. That one's solid. Now the front. That one's good too now. Okay. So, there, that's good. Now, I can look through it, see what the peep's going to be like. Nice. Nice, nice. Okay, that's that part. That's what she's looking like thus far. Now the front sight. That's pretty sweet. So this here is the original plastic sight. Right there. This one is the new iron sight. And it is adjustable as well. This is what we're going to attach right now. So here's the new iron sight. And I'm going to slide that in. There's that indent right here. And that's where I've got to tighten the sight to. That sight indent. So I'm going to just tighten her down. Right there. Right there. She's good. And now I can adjust my pin here up or down. And then in the front, there is a locking screw as well to lock it in place after you set your pin up here. So now, oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. I'm kind of excited about trying this out, you know. And like I said, that's going to be another day, but I'll put a part 2. Now, let's take and add one of these thread protectors. My other one's rolling away. So this here is as simple as screwing it on. And it screws all the way up to the front sight, right like that. This here is a hammer extension. With that slot, it fits right over top of the hammer, right like that. And then this is a set screw. I'm going to put some Loctite on this and then set that in. And then that gives me an extension to the hammer. So that's just barely threaded in there right now. So I'm just going to put some Loctite right on the threads. Well, it's sitting there like that. There we go. And now I can screw it in. Yep, this one here. Make sure it's nice and snug on there. Then I'll screw that in. And I'm just going to snug that up. Same thing as I have with the other screws. And she's nice and snug. Now, it just gives you a lot bigger hammer to get a hold of to cock it. If you had a low scope and such, it helps with that and so on. But there it is, that's the mods. So that concludes the mods. I've got the hammer extension. I've got a rear steel sight, as well as a metal Picatinny rail, 6-inch. The carbon fiber barrel shroud, floating barrel shroud, the thread protector, and the adjustable elevation front sight. So that is the finished firearm right there. And I can't wait to get that out and fire some rounds through it and see where it's hitting. I love that I can adjust that up and down. That's a game changer. Hopefully you enjoyed this informative video, and take care. I'll leave a link where you can check this out, and all the best. Happy hunting.